Hey, I'm Stephanie, and it's time for a Partners in Cream Project Pan update. This project was originally started by Steph Lyons and Dalyn, who will both be linked in the show notes, and the rules are pretty simple. Anybody who wants to join the project simply chooses 3 to 6 cream or liquid products to pan, and we upload our updates on the 10th of every month. Depending on my schedule, I'm not always the most punctual, but nobody's yelled at me yet. So I take that to mean that the rules are more of a suggestion than law. And we are allowed to refresh our chosen products every quarter. The reason we focus on cream and liquid products is because those are the items that tend to expire the fastest. So we want to show them the lurv they deserve before they get gross. I'm pre-recording this because if you're watching this around the time that it goes live, I'm on the road again. So that means I didn't have quite a whole month to work on all my products, but hey, progress is progress. Every little bit counts. So let's get into the 5 products that I've been working on. I'd like to start with my Hourglass Illume sheer color trio because in my last update, I claimed that this color story was too happy for me because at the time I was just really into wearing muted colors and I just wanted to wallow in my wintry lack of vitamin D and motivation. But I'm happy to report that things have changed. Apparently, spring has arrived. I don't want to say it too loudly because I don't want to chase it away, but now that the world outside my window isn't dreary anymore, this color story is a whole lot more fun. Plus, I've discovered that I really enjoy using this as cream eyeshadow. Now, I can only use it in the crease and on the brow bone because this formula does crease if I use it on my mobile lid. And it doesn't matter what primer I use it with, it always creases, but hey. This is a face palette and it's not meant to be used as cream eyeshadow. But I've really enjoyed using this on days where I don't have a whole lot of time, but I still want to put on some makeup, like today. And so what I can do is use this as a face palette and also use it to add some definition to my eyes, add a little bit of warmth, and it just makes for a really quick look. So yay! Then we have my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, which I have in the shade 3.8, and I used this 8 times. Now that might not seem like a whole lot, but considering the fact that I just started my other project pan for the year, which will be linked in the show notes, and there's 2 foundations in that one, I feel like 8 uses is actually really good. Next, we have my Laura Mercier Caviar stick in the shade Amethyst, which I used 11 times. And I'm still using it as an under eyeliner, and I'm still really enjoying it in that capacity. It's kind of a boring update for this one, but I kind of have a feeling that sometimes the most boring things are the best ones. Although I don't know, do I really think that, or is that just words falling out of my mouth? I don't know. What do you think? Are the best products the most boring ones? Moving on, let's talk about the Lisa Eldridge Gloss Embrace Lip Gloss, which I have in the shade Songbird and used a whopping 33 times. Although you can't tell because this is the sort of product that clings to the sides of the tube, but I swear I marked it in the notebook, so it must be true. I used it 33 times. And I had just rolled this in for the first time last month, and using it so often back to back, I think taught me a lot more about how to best use this product. Because this is the sort of lip gloss that for a lip gloss, it's pretty nourishing. You know how some lip glosses, it's almost like the more you apply them, the more they dry out your lips? This one doesn't do that. And I was like, oh, it's nourishing, so I should just slather it on. And I was just caking it on there. But I very quickly realized that is not the way to wear this gloss, because when I did that, it looked gloopy and patchy and kind of gross. And it would kind of gather, on the inner rim of my lip, and it would, that kind of like white line that you can get there sometimes. Yeah. That's what was happening with this. But I just clung firmly to the belief that Lisa Eldridge would never create a bad lip gloss. And so I started trying to apply it in different ways. And I found that the sweet spot with this gloss is to apply it in a thin layer. And when I do that, then it gives me a sheer wash of color that doesn't gather in my lip lines. It doesn't create that rim that I don't like. And it has surprising longevity for a gloss. But I do have to say that even though this doesn't emphasize any texture in the lip skin or the lip lines, it also doesn't really minimize them either. I feel like some glosses act kind of like puffy paint. Like, did you ever do puffy paint t-shirts as a kid where you'd have like a plastic tube of colored paint and you could like squeeze it out and decorate t-shirts? I feel like some glosses act like that. Because what they do is they kind of create a thick layer on the lips, and because they create that thick pillowy layer, they kind of smooth out the appearance of any lines or any texture, so the lips just become like much juicier and fuller looking than they actually are. And I'm not talking about plumping glosses, I'm just talking about straight up glosses. That's what I was trying to do when I was applying this in the thick layer. I was trying to get that kind of pillowy look, but that just doesn't work with this. At least on me, it just looked nasty when I tried that. But applying it in a sheer layer worked really well. And once I went back and looked at her website and took a closer look at the product images and like how they were applied to the different models, I think that they were using a sheer layer. So I think I was just using it wrong. So I'm going to keep using this one in the project for now because I feel like I still need to gather some thoughts about it. If I'm being honest, I'm not 100% sold on it yet. And the last item in this update is my Givenchy Le Rouge Sheer Velvet Lipstick, which I have in the shade 16 and wore 14 times. Now, I realize most people would not consider this a particularly dramatic or bright shade, but let's face it, those people aren't as boring as I am. This is pink with a capital P, at least for me, and that's why I wasn't really reaching for it, which is why I rolled it into this project, because no matter what I think of the color, the formula alone makes it worth wearing this. It's matte. It's blurring. I mean, when they called this sheer velvet, they knew what they were doing because it's perfect. It's a comfortable formula and it even smells great. Like, imagine I invited you to my place and I decided I would bake you a dessert. That's what it smells like, because let's face it, if I'm baking you something, chances are I've burnt it slightly, but it's still yummy, and that's what this smells like. Plus, I get a lot of compliments when I wear this, and that's not something that happens to me very often with lipstick, maybe because the majority of lipsticks that I choose to wear are like pretty much the exact same color as my actual lips, so it doesn't even look like I'm wearing lipstick, but so many people compliment me when I wear this that it kind of makes me wonder if it would be worth taking a step back, because sometimes I don't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes I'm a little bit too close to like what I think I should look like or what I feel I should look like. I mean, maybe it's time to face my fear of pink. Or maybe what I need to do is jump on that trend that's currently going back around of, seasonal color analysis. Maybe I need to find out what season I am, because I sure as heck don't know. I mean, in my soul, I feel like an autumn, but maybe I'm actually a spring. Have you ever tried color analysis? I feel like it could potentially be really helpful because color theory is a real thing. And I mean, considering the fact that I'm on a style journey, getting some professional help in that department might not be the worst idea. But in any case, it's probably a topic for another video. So I'm going to end this one here by saying, I'm so glad you stuck around. And since you made it this far, I don't know, maybe you want to consider liking, subscribing, saying hi in the comments. Because I mean, let's face it, if I'm on the road right now, I need a distraction from the mind-numbing travelness of it all. So, talking in the comments would be a fun distraction. But even if you don't do any of those things, I hope you have a great week and that we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.